Rajesh Mehta was a man of ambition. He dreamt of wealth and security. The bustling city of Mumbai was his jungle and the stock market his hunting ground. For 20 years he stalked his prey. He learned the market's rhythms. Rajesh tasted success. He built his fortune brick by brick, 5 crores, a testament to his cunning and drive. He was a self-made man. Rajesh's story was not unique. He was a product of Mumbai's ambition. A city fueled by dreams and aspirations, he represented the thousands who dared to enter the market's fray. Some found success, others ruin, but Rajesh for a time seemed invincible. His star was on the rise. Rajesh's early days were marked by frugality and discipline. He lived modestly, reinvesting his profits. He shunned extravagance, his eyes fixed on the prize. His dedication paid off. He moved from his cramped flat to a spacious apartment. He provided for his family, ensuring their comfort and security. Rajesh Mehta was living the Indian dream, but the market, like a jealous god, demanded constant vigilance. The year 2019, the tech sector was booming. A new gold rush was on. Startups with revolutionary ideas were popping up everywhere. The air crackled with excitement. Fortunes were being made and lost overnight. Rajesh, ever the opportunist, saw a chance to solidify his legacy. Tech Globe, a fledgling tech company, caught his eye. They promised to revolutionize mobile computing. Their flagship product, a revolutionary new smartphone, was generating buzz. Early reviews were ecstatic. Investors were clamoring for a piece of the pie. Rajesh saw their potential. He believed in their vision. He decided to go all in. Rajesh poured 3 crores into Tech Globe. It was a calculated gamble. He was betting on the future. His gut told him this was it, the big one, the investment that would cement his place among the trading elite. Initially, his gamble seemed inspired. Tech Globe's stock soared. Rajesh watched his portfolio swell with each passing day. June 2019. The world woke up to shocking news. Tech Globe's much-hyped smartphone was a flop. Plagued by technical glitches and poor battery life, it was a disaster. Consumers felt cheated, investors panicked. The stock market reacted swiftly and brutally. Tech Globe's stock plummeted. It went into freefall. Rajesh watched in horror as his fortune evaporated. The 3 crores he had invested was now worth a fraction of its value. Despair began to creep in. He tried to salvage what he could. He sold off some of his shares, but the damage was done. The market had dealt him a devastating blow. His carefully constructed world was crumbling around him. The once confident trader was now a shadow of his former self. Doubt and fear gnawed at him. The financial losses were just the tip of the iceberg. Rajesh's personal life began to unravel. The weight of his failure pressed down on him. He became withdrawn and irritable. His wife, once accustomed to his cheerful demeanor, was met with silence and anger. The joyful banter that once filled their home was replaced by an uneasy tension. He couldn't bear to look his children in the eye. The thought of their future, once so bright, now clouded by uncertainty, filled him with shame. He had failed them. The guilt was unbearable. Arguments became commonplace. The once loving family was fracturing under the strain. Rajesh's wife tried to be understanding. She urged him to seek help, to confide in someone. But he was trapped in a whirlpool of despair. By December 2019, Rajesh was desperate. His losses had whittled his 5 crore fortune down to a paltry 30 lakhs. Desperate times called for desperate measures. He convinced himself he could win it all back. He started dabbling in penny stocks. These volatile, high-risk stocks were a gamble, but for Rajesh, they were the only game in town. He clung to the hope of a miracle, a stroke of luck that would restore his fortunes. He spent hours researching obscure companies, poring over charts and graphs. His wife pleaded with him to stop. She begged him to accept his losses and move on, to focus on rebuilding their lives, not his portfolio. But her words fell on deaf ears. Rajesh was too far gone, consumed by the allure of the market. He liquidated his remaining assets, putting everything on the line. The penny stocks, as volatile as they were, failed to deliver the miracle Rajesh had hoped for. His investments tanked one after another. His 30 lakhs dwindled to a mere pittance. He had nothing left, no money, no investments, no safety net. He was financially ruined. The stress took a heavy toll on his health. He was a shell of his former self. Sleep eluded him. He was plagued by nightmares of financial ruin and despair. His once robust physique withered away. His eyes, once filled with ambition and drive, were now vacant. His family watched helplessly as he spiraled downwards. Their pleas for him to seek professional help went unheeded. Rajesh was trapped in a prison of his own making. The walls were built of regret, guilt, and the crushing weight of his losses. As the new year dawned, a sense of hopelessness descended upon Rajesh. The weight of his failure became unbearable. He saw no way out. His dreams lay in ruins. His family was falling apart. He was a burden to those he loved most. January 2020. The city of Mumbai awoke to the news of Rajesh Mehta's suicide. He had taken his own life, unable to cope with the crushing weight of his financial and personal losses. The news sent shockwaves through the trading community. His story became a grim reminder of the human cost of financial ruin. The tragedy sparked conversations about the pressures of success and the importance of seeking help during times of crisis. Rajesh's story served as a stark reminder that behind the numbers were real people with real lives. The tragedy of Rajesh Mehta sent ripples through the financial world. His story, a cautionary tale, was shared in hushed tones. Yet, despite the shock and the sympathy, the lessons embedded within his demise seemed to fade quickly. The allure of quick riches, the intoxicating thrill of the gamble, continued to draw in new players. On the surface, the market churned on. The tickers scrolled, the graphs fluctuated, fortunes were made and lost. The relentless pursuit of profit continued unabated. It was as if Rajesh's story was a mere blip, a fleeting moment of sadness in the otherwise cold, calculating world of finance. But beneath the surface, a sense of unease lingered. Seasoned traders, hardened by years of experience, felt a pang of guilt. They recognized the desperation in Rajesh's final gamble. Rajesh's story was a stark reminder of the dark side of their world. The stock market, for all its allure and promise, is a treacherous terrain. It is a landscape littered with the financial carcasses of those who dared to venture in unprepared. Rajesh's story serves as a harsh reminder that while the rewards can be great, the risks are equally significant. Prudence, not greed, should guide our steps in this volatile realm. Diversification, not concentration, should be our mantra. It is essential to approach the market with a healthy dose of skepticism. More importantly, we must remember that there is more to life than financial gain. Our worth as individuals is not solely determined by the size of our portfolios. Family, friends, community, these are the true pillars of a fulfilling life. Rajesh's story is a testament to the importance of perspective. The siren song of the stock market continues to lure unsuspecting individuals. The promise of easy money, the allure of beating the system, draws them in. But as Rajesh Mehta's story tragically illustrates, the market is a fickle mistress. It can bestow great riches one moment and snatch them away the next. Let his story serve as a cautionary tale, a reminder that the pursuit of wealth should not come at the expense of our values, our relationships, or our very souls. The stock market is a powerful force, but it should never be allowed to control our destinies. Remember Rajesh Mehta. Remember his ambition, his triumphs, and his ultimate downfall. Let his story be a catalyst for change.